Hey guys, it's Cyrus of Chaos. I'm here with Weiss and Jake Hoyle, and today we're going to be talking about the bout that they fenced against each other in the semifinals of 2016 NCAA championships at Brandeis. So I'm going to let them introduce themselves and set up the bout for us. So take it away, guys.
Yeah, Jake, you can go first.
All right, what's up, everybody? I'm Jake Hoyle, men's epee fencer. Me and Lewis going to watch this bout that we fenced against each other back in 2016. So kind of a while ago, but it's a good one. It was after a long day of fencing at NCAA championships. So both of us pretty drained from 23, five-touch bouts.
Yeah.
Like some of the best. Yeah, it was a long day. I was a senior at the time. Lewis, you were a sophomore?
Yep.
Yeah. So that was my third NCAAs. I guess that was your second, Lewis. My second time.
And you were the defending champion, right?
Yeah, I had won the year before. And Lewis had also been in the top four, I think, the year before that. This was a semifinal bout.
Okay. Hi, I'm Lewis Weiss. I'm also a men's epee fencer for Team USA. I also coach right now at Alliance Fencing Academy. We're going to watch the bout between me and Jake from 2016 NCAAs, if that already wasn't clear. I'm going to put some context to this bout a little bit. So Jake probably was my toughest opponent ever in NCAA competition. So I think I was like ranked number 1 or 2 in NCAAs, like the power rankings. Probably some of y'all know about that. Maybe some of you don't, but it's kind of like the college rankings. I couldn't beat Jake to save my life. So I would get my butt kicked every meet by Jake until that was my first year of NCAA. So 2015 until NCAA championships 2015, where it was the same deal. The bouts had gone like this. You would get up like 4-2 and then I would lose. So I never could really conquer that. And then that championships, the same thing was happening. And I was like, I can't. I remember the moment. I remember the strip. I know the strip. And I was like, I can't do this. And then I did it somehow. I even remember the last touch. I attacked you, pulling my arm back. You parried. I was like, yes. But then we both made it to the top 4. I lost to my teammate from Houston, Jack Hudson, very, very good fencer. And then Jake destroyed him. Jake, you beat Brian. So Jake beat his own teammate too, also in the semifinal. And then Jake destroyed Jack in the final and won his first. But we didn't get to fence at 15. So then the next year, we go to the semifinal, and it was a really good bout, as you'll see, very, very close. And it was I really didn't like this bout. I don't know if we're going to put the beginning of this conversation in the video, but I really didn't like this bout because I was winning and then I lost. But now it's actually one of my favorite bouts because it's just a really good example of good tactical fencing from both sides. So
yes, very clean.
Yeah, very, very clean. And then we both ended up going to university games together. We did a international team event together. We kicked Germany's butt one time, really in Germany in front of their home crowd. That was a great memory. So Jake was one of my favorite teammates to fence on a team with. He's really fun to fence with and really good fencer.
Thanks, man. I don't know if Lewis is going to say that, but I remember that Heidenheim team match. That was 2018, right?
That was 2018, I think. Yeah. Yep.
And Lewis, that was your first time fencing on a senior team, and yep. Lewis must have gone plus 15 or more against just Germany. Literally, these dudes were down and just flying, and Lewis was just picking up that foot touch, parry 2 to the foot, killing.
Okay. So this is the interesting thing. So I was telling you guys earlier. So I watched this bout with one of my Zoom classes about a week ago, and I saw a lot of that, the foot touches. Actually, you had some good foot touches too. We're gonna see it in a second, but I'm good at foot touches. It's 8 and foot touches. This is basically my specialty. But Jake had some really good ones too. I forgot about in this bout, so I'm
clean bout. Clean bout.
This is a very clean bout. It's two people with very, very good technique. So it's like one of those bouts that, and it's like a tight situation because the finals of NCAAs, and it's like, it's a big deal, especially in the US. So it's like, it was like bound to be a close one because the winner of this bout, if it wasn't going to be, oh, well, the other two, and Mark and Zhenya, the other two in the semifinal, like anyone could have won that whole top four. It was a very strong top four. So it's like the bouts were bound to be close. And in the other semifinal, actually, last thing before we get to this bout, it was also a priority bout. So it's like these bouts were just like tooth and nail the whole time.
Yeah,
it was
very close.
very, very close.
All right, shall we start?
Yeah, let's do it.
Do I go to the website to watch it?
Yes, go to the sync-tube.de that I sent you.
Got it.
And then just tell me when you're both ready.
I'm ready.
I'm good.
Right.
Yeah.
Lewis? All righty.
I haven't watched this bout in a few years, so I'm gonna be calling it as I see it.
Yeah,
baby, first touch, let's go.
I was like, that's why I said I don't think that was a foot. I think you got me on the thigh, but yeah, you had some nice like low target touches in this bout. But then I try to go back.
One thing before we continue, I'm getting a lot of feedback from your computers. Can you either turn them down, the volume on the bout down, or mute them?
Yeah, I can mute the bout. It's fine. Yeah.
Yeah, can you mute the bout? Oh yeah, okay, I'll just mute the bout.
All right, good, ready?
Yeah.
But Andrew, you're the only one that can pause it, right?
Yes, I think so.
Okay. So
Nice.
I kind of missed that. I don't
Yeah,
know.
if you want me to pause or go back, just let me know.
Yeah, just go back to that because I missed that touch. So, no, it's a good touch. It's it's a parry. So Jay kind of like attacks. I do the parry. But I would say, can you pause it really quick? Just like right off the bat, I would say like when people are watching this video, I think it's important to look for like the two styles here. And the two styles kind of are, Jake is really good at like, and this is from my point of view, of course, he might have a different point of view on this, but from my point of view, he has a really good like two flicks. He goes like flick to the hand, and then he does like another action like flick, like wrist, body, wrist, foot, like really, really good. On the other hand, I'm kind of doing a lot more like jumps into the distance. So it's like jump, jump. And you see Jake pretty much pushes the whole bout, but I'm always counter pushing him. So my whole strategy here kind of was like, okay, work on the defense, try to draw out his attack, and then use some sort of like parry or counter attack and get him like this way, or attack on prep. I don't know. We'll see. But that's kind of the idea. So when you're watching, I mean, I feel like that's the thing people should be like watching for, like looking for in this bout. Okay, you can play it.
I don't remember what I was trying to do, but I feel like I was just, it looks like I'm just pushing you and trying to stay away from your foot touching like your second.
I feel like I was talking to someone about it. I feel like when people are like, okay, I'm going to fence like Lewis, they're always like, watch your foot, and he's going to take 8. So
yeah, if you don't watch your foot, you're going to get hit in the foot.
You're going to get hit on the foot. But like, it's really funny to hear you say this now, because now that I'm watching it, I'm like, oh yeah, he really was trying to stay a little bit farther.
It's like, especially with my front foot.
Yeah, I can. No, I actually see it now. That's really interesting. I wouldn't have guessed that on my own.
I think that's just good reaction on your part.
That's just it's like you, but like, okay, the thing that, can we pause it really quick? The thing that I noticed when I was watching it with my class was at the beginning of the bout, I felt from watching it, like you weren't committing as much to your like final action. Like your prep, your flicks to the wrist were like really, really nice, but the final action was a little short. So somehow in this bout, it looks like every time you're going to do like a short action, I'm going to pick it up somehow. So I agree with you. It was a good reaction, but like if we watch the way you go to the foot, it's not like a full commitment. I think that's why I was able to read it.
Yeah, that was like half commit and then pull back, and on my way up, you just were like
Exactly.
right on top of it. Yeah.
Yeah.
I like half committed.
I think I was trying to go to your foot through 8 though first, and then you like try to respond.
And then I parried, and then you went. Yeah.
Yeah. I didn't notice that either. That's interesting. Yeah. So it was like a battle of foot touches, basically.
Yeah, a bunch of fakes. Not much.
So many. But I feel like I feel like you're leading as far as pushing, but like every time you kind of like try to push me, I'm kind of like pushing back at you in a sense with my own.
Yeah, I mean, you're pretty comfortable back there. So it might look like I'm pushing, but you're pretty comfortable at the back of the strip, like being pushed.
Yeah, I think Jake is a much better offensive style fencer. I think you can do both actually pretty well, but like I think you're way better on offense than me. I'm really, really good on the defensive side. I can turtle like crazy.
That's what you just did to me.
Yeah, I know.
That was a full commitment. You're saying I'm not committing. That was full.
Go back a little bit.
Go back.
So basically the idea is like I'm pushing back when Jake's attacking. I'm using 6 pretty well because that was my second, I think, parry 6. So it's like, but again, and prep wise, oh, that's actually good. That's actually, I feel like that's more of like a yielding parry in a way because it's like this first 6 I didn't score. It was like when you try to remise and I kind of pull it back and then hit you. That was kind of the touch. So it's more like a yielding, like if we're getting technical, like yielding 3, that would be like 3 like back here. Yeah, or just a remise, but it's good.
I don't know what that was.
That was called getting hit.
I was just stuck on your guard. It looks like I missed it.
You were stuck, yeah.
You're also gonna hear a lot of screaming for Jake because I was sitting right in the center exactly.
Wait, pause. No, wait, pause. Now you have to pause because I was thinking this is gonna come up. Let me tell you something. What you hear in this video is a lot of Columbia screaming for Jake. What you don't hear in this video, because you weren't sitting near her, is my grandma every single time I scored the point or didn't score the point, it didn't matter, screaming, crush them. Because because Coach Naslimov, he would always be like, no, crush them. So then my grandma took that on herself. And she just screamed it every single time. She was probably the only one cheering for me too, I think, and definitely the loudest. But you can't hear her at all because you're sitting in the Columbia section. But
sorry, bro.
I just want to point that out. So I do have support, guys. Don't worry. My grandma's
there. Oh,
and that touch. When I watched it last week, that is a beautiful touch. Like, go back a little bit. I want to see. You see, okay, that's kind of the same thing like how I scored on him the last touch, like 6 and then kind of remise. So he kind of starts the 6 when I flush at him. And then he doesn't score on the 6, but he scores on a beautiful like remise kind of with prime. Yeah, that was gorgeous.
That's just parry post.
Yeah, I would say so too. Yeah, parry repost.
Like feign disengage, but you knew I'm going to take a parry, so you do like a hard feign disengage from far away, just a little too far away. I react the way you wanted to, right? Like you did the fake, and I just took a
pause.
I'm going to go back again.
Yeah, you don't have to go back, but definitely pause because like the thing was, I 100% agree with Jake. The idea was right. Like I did know he was going to take parry, and I did want to go around like with a fake disengage. The only problem was if you watch it like really closely, I don't get close to him before I attack. So if we like go back, the attack kind of happens with no entry into the distance. It's just like I'm kind of bouncing and then all of a sudden comes like fake attack. So this is the problem because I didn't get any closer. So basically it's very readable. And that's something I noticed watching last week, because it was like, okay, you didn't, most of the time when I would score my attacks on this bout, I would enter the distance first and then attack. In that particular instance, there is no entry. There's no fake, not no fake. There's no like step first before the fake attack, right? So he can read it easily just based off the distance.
Yeah, I think just a little too far away. Power post.
I like that touch a lot. That was a good touch. Kudos.
Thanks, bro.
Let's see.
There's the double flick you were talking about.
Yeah, there's a lot. But also, I was just that's very interesting that you bring up preparation, because I was just thinking the thing that me and Jake, beautiful, by the way. So that's the what we were talking about before, where I go like 8 to the foot. So that's kind of how, because most of the time in my bouts, I usually just do some variation of 8.
You didn't even get the blade though. You just went 8 for the blade. Nothing there.
Nothing.
Straight to the foot. Still got it.
But I do it all the time. Like when I'm working with a, wait, can you pause? Because I want to keep watching, but like I can't. Yeah. Something that I do a lot, like in lessons with my coach, we go like a lot, like entry with 8. And then if I have the blade or if he disengages, I just hit the foot anyway. Because the problem is from a young age, like my 8 has always been really, really good, but that's pretty much the only thing I've had. So you have to find ways to variate it. You can't just do the same 8 every single time for 15 touches. So you need like different targets, like the foot, the wrist, with flesh, you know what I'm talking, just different things to mix it, the same thing up basically. So that's kind of what you see there. But going back even a little bit more on preparation, Jake does do the double flick, but what he also does really nice, and what I do too, so we do it similar, is search for the blade like with 8 and 6 a lot. So it's like showing 8 and 6 a lot to the opponent, hoping that they're kind of going to disengage. And when they do, you go for the actual action. So that's kind of the setup.
And just quickly there, Jake, do you do the double flick because you're hoping that he'll respond and move his arm forward into it?
No, that's just like one of the preparations I'll use to see what's going on. I think I couldn't tell you. I don't remember what I was thinking. But I think I'm like pushing Lewis down, just trying to see what he's going to do. Gotcha. And hoping that like I can react fast enough or counterattack or whatever if he decides to pull the trigger and it's not working. Right?
Definitely not in the beginning.
Lewis, you said you thought I was leading earlier. I don't even necessarily agree. It kind of looks like neither of us are ever, like we're operating independently. It kind of looks like we're both doing little preps like on our own initiative. And yeah, I don't really
have to. It's interesting that you bring that up, because I definitely have to agree. Like now that I'm thinking about it from I'm usually like lax anyway when I'm fencing in defense, but from you, it looks like, I don't know how else to say this, but it kind of looks a little dull in a sense. It's kind of like you're going for things, but I don't see the commitment almost, you know what I'm saying?
So it's not convincing.
Yeah, it's not.
Besides that one lunge, like
oh yeah,
nothing really all the way. And if you go back and look at those, if you look at those, yeah, you can watch me hit the foot again. But even those like little preps I'm doing, yeah, they look like preps like on this video, but in reality, for you on the strip, you're not reacting to that. Like I'm far away, my tip's nowhere near your guard. Like you're just sitting back, chill. Like that doesn't matter.
Especially because I feel like when I analyze
yes, that's actually why I asked that question, because maybe you're hoping for an extension or something.
No,
there's nothing there. It's just that's just like useless preparation, honestly.
That's just great. Actually, Jake, that's a great point, and I'm gonna tell you why. Because I feel like half the time I don't pay attention to distance when I'm analyzing bouts, but now that I'm like looking at it, it is far. I mean, you're doing the preps far. Maybe that's why you don't want to commit, because I'm not giving you anything because it's far. And now that I'm looking at it,
I'm not giving you any, like,
yeah, I'm exactly. Yeah. But now that I'm looking at it, I'm like, dang, like, yeah, it is kind of far. I can see why I would just ignore all of that and be like, okay, I'll just wait till you do something a little bit closer or more real. You know what I mean? So like, That makes a lot of sense.
Hmm.
All right, what we got? What's the time right now? 45 seconds still?
40 something. I can't tell. Maybe 48. Yeah, 47.
Oh, here we go. Slowing it down.
Oh, you're right.
Inching in.
This is so interesting because I literally watched this a week ago and I'm like, there's some things that like this, I didn't notice at all. And now I'm like, oh, yeah, it's so interesting to get your point of view.
Yeah, everyone watches from a different perspective and with different things that they're focusing on.
But yeah, you really are slowing it down. You look kind of like, not like crazy like Heinzer, but I was watching a video today, like with Heinzer just like slowing it down like that.
Yeah, I mean,
like,
if it wasn't working, you're beating me like pretty handily. I couldn't figure it out, but that's like wrong solution, right? Distance is still a problem. I'm just like not moving my feet as much, so really.
Yeah, but it's like a good Band-Aid in the short term, just because at least it's like if I don't know what to do and the time is like kind of ending, let's not make this problem worse. You know what I'm saying? Let's
get to the break. Let me talk.
Exactly.
That's what I was thinking. Yeah.
So is that one of the things you would be recommending to yourself, is to try to pressure from a closer distance?
You talking to me?
Yes, you. Sorry.
Yeah, I think I'm just too far away.
Okay.
It's either like get closer or throw like any type of fake in a vicinity where Lewis would react to it, right? Like basically like that was a full period. I didn't do anything. I did one lunge.
You're right. Shit.
I didn't do anything. Lewis gave me a touch because he flushed from out of distance, and I like happened to pick up the parry. And
out of distance is the best time to get fleshed at because you have the most time to react to it.
Yeah, it's like the only touch I scored. I hit one like on a remise, I think, at the beginning, but like
the double touch, yeah.
Basically, like looking at it now, I'm not really doing much. Like, just not close enough or threatening enough for Lewis. And you can see Lewis so relaxed, like just chilling.
I literally
moving slow, like just.
I literally couldn't. But that's my favorite way to fence in the whole world, is when I like feel the footwork and just can be like relaxed. I am so sharp. So basically, I feel like, yeah, it's so interesting. Like, I'm actually very, very intrigued because I'm just like, I really never paid attention to the distance in this bout before. But now that I'm seeing it, I'm like, oh, you're right. I'm not threatened. That's why I'm so relaxed. And you can even see on the start line, like the video's paused and my shoulder goes back. I'm like, okay, let's take it into the net. And Jake.
And look at me, I'm like leaning forward, like.
Like, oh my God. So it's like, this is very interesting. Wow.
Yeah,
okay.
The difference in body posture is pretty stark.
Yeah, like big time. I mean, I feel like I wasn't going to bring this up. I think I had it in the little notes I wrote pre-video, but like, I feel personally for myself, like 2015 was probably one of the best years I ever fenced. I told you this before, Andrew, like in chats or something, but like legit, I felt everything. I was like, literally, I felt like untouchable. Like I was killing it fencing wise. Results were really good too, but like fencing wise was like, ooh. And part of the reason for that was it was just like so relaxed and so like little footwork dependent. When I watch it, for me, from the inside perspective, like interpersonally, it's kind of like, I felt kind of like how Vetsali fences with those little like half steps and distance control, and you can just feel like everything. And this is a good year for me too. I felt like very good fencing in this year, but it's not the same. There's a lot more jumps in and out with both feet, less half steps. But yeah, going into the next period, I would say, you know what? Overall, I would say just stick with the same thing. But probably now that we're talking about it, if I could go back, I'd be like, watch the distance, because that's obviously working for me, or maintain distance control or something like that, because it's helping. I think maybe that's the biggest factor here after all. Who knows?
Yeah.
All right.
Round
Second
2.
Period.
Yeah. Round 2.
Same stuff for me.
Yeah, it looks a little short again. Yeah.
Same stuff.
Yeah, I feel like I'm just getting a little bit more confident and playful too, because I'm like, okay, it's working. So now I'm gonna try like showing weight, going to the foot, like doing like different stuff. I
Yeah,
think,
I'm just like,
yeah, like you see, yeah, like I'm like, okay, let's play a little bit. Like,
And you have the wiggle room to do that. So
exactly. Yeah. I mean, 3 touches lead, you do have, it's still too early in the bout, but like 3 touches lead is a pretty nice wiggle room to play a little bit if you can.
was there passivity back then? Like, what?
It
Yeah,
was.
we didn't go to it, but we had it. Yes. That
There
was a
was.
good,
I don't think there
that
were
was,
cards for it at that point.
no, they just moved you to the next period. But that lunge, that was the one where when I was analyzing it earlier, I was like, yeah, that's what he should have been doing.
And
Like,
at least I finally
that's
like
it.
actually committed to something, but that was like 50 seconds of patience from you and just easy counterattack.
Yeah,
For,
exactly. 100, couldn't agree more.
you
100%.
want to take those all day.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, there's some good ones in here. I don't know if they already happened or later, but there's a lot. Yeah, like you see, I'm already showing. I'm like, okay, yeah, I'm like kind of showing like, yeah, I'm gonna counterattack. Yep, and there's another one, a third one. So obviously that's my plan.
Yeah.
So from you, I'm like, what are you thinking you're gonna take the blade? Like, what's the?
Dude, I don't know, man.
Yeah.
Like I've done these preps to your hand for what? Yeah, 4.5 minutes now.
4.5 minutes.
Have it
Yeah.
hit your hand. Like, why do I think you're gonna care that
Just to like ignore it and pull back. So the fact that he brings this up is like,
see
yeah,
I'm frustrated?
I would just ignore that and not care.
Yeah. I'm not doing like I launched like 1 or 2 long attacks that you hit me on and I can't hit your hand. So what do you care? You just let me do that.
We're gonna do this all day, or I would have done this all day, but you made a change. Yeah, I would have been happy just to do. Okay,
Oh, yo, that's a good touch.
Whoa.
that
That's a good touch. Let's see that again.
that's a good. Yeah, I like that one.
Ah, damn.
You see, remember I was telling you earlier in 2015 when we fenced in the pool round, that was like, no, it wasn't that. It was like it was a lunge, but it was pulling my arm back. I'm like, who knew? Like, and then it comes up in this bout too, like pulling your arm back, flush attack.
Yeah, I took 2 parries. It even looks like I might have clipped your blade with the second parry, but it was just a little too late.
No, you did. You did.
I think so too.
The problem, okay, I mean, like you parried, but no repos. And also, you know what? I feel like when I'm coming back, I want to use my flesh more. I'm always told by like my coach, I have a really good flesh. I just never seem to use it. I want to add ducks too because I think ducks are important. I don't see any ducks in this bout, but if you watched like the last World Cup final with this is also like 4 years ago, so maybe it wasn't as relevant then. I don't know.
Ducks are good.
Ducks are good. They add up. They get you like 2 or 3 touches about. That's a lot of touches.
Love a good
Yeah.
duck. All right, roll video. I'm probably freaked that you're going to do that again, honestly.
Another flesh? Yeah, actually I can see it. Yeah, the body language, it's kind of like
I'm like trying to parry like crazy. It's the same thing.
But then it's pretty much the same
Just
thing. Yeah, just not
same
with the
thing,
flesh.
disengaged.
Yeah, just without the flesh. It's just so yes, I mean, I guess you had a reason to be worried. Okay, pause. The bout the bout takes a shift, so pay attention. Okay, you can unpause. Yeah, I think this is the time where you start figuring out what to do. And I think I became way too passive in terms of like now what I see is kind of controlling the distance.
Also, from like between all the weapons, I'm pretty sure that a 6-touch lead is like the most relevant in Epee.
Yo, yeah, I was toast.
I would.
All right.
Oh, that's nice. Yeah, you see, there's the attack that I was like from earlier. That I was like, that's what you did at the beginning of this period, but now it's finally a single.
Yeah, that was the same like counter attack from you. I think you missed. I don't know.
I don't know. I have to see.
Oh no, you're late. You're late.
It was late, and it was kind of like.
I was kind of like,
Yeah, it's very passive. It's like,
Yeah, there
like
was.
if you went short,
No.
if you had gone short in any way, it would have been a touch, but it's way too like passive.
Committed.
A little like soft. No,
like soft. Yeah. Yeah. You're right.
But I mean, you're up by 6. Like with a minute left in the second period, I'd probably be doing that too.
You asked the question like, is it relevant? It is, but the problem is when you're leading by that much and you have so much time to like just kind of sit in it, like you do in Epee when you're leading by that much, you can get so passive. So that's kind of what happens here. You're just like, okay, I'm just gonna stick to my laurels. I'm gonna, and stop creating touches. And then
I
you
looked a little lazy.
Your butt kicked. Oh no,
So
I mean, Jake.
It looks like I finally actually went to your hand and hit you on the hand.
Yeah. No. Yeah. For sure.
One for 100 attempts here.
Okay. It needs like 1 is all you need, maybe. No, but like, yeah.
Oh,
it's like,
yeah, it's a good one. Yeah, get up and cheer. All right, wait.
That's a nice cheer.
Yeah, I think Lewis. I think I just got you to jump like in the middle of the strip with
time.
a lot of time left.
It just became very reactive. And then you see, I feel like maybe the distance it looks closer now. You actually get on top of my hand and I like actually bite it because I'm like, okay, it's the real attack and it's not.
Remember when you could salute off like that and not get a yellow card?
I was just thinking that.
It's just everyone's very reasonable. Like, okay, there's only 4 seconds. We're just gonna go to the next period. Like, those are the good days.
Those were
guys,
very
come on.
Nice.
You have to fence or I'm going to card you. Okay, fine.
No, you could just be like, oh, there's like even 10 seconds left. You could just be like, okay, I'm done.
25, 30. They would let
you could push your luck for sure. Like in team events, oh my God, in team events, you'd be like,
you just walk back and salute. It's like, okay.
Walk back and salute. Like the bout, literally, like the referee, like it's like you could choose which bouts to skip almost. You could be like, okay.
Oh yeah, that was like the whole thing.
2:59 salute. Okay, guys, that's fine. We can move.
Well, you would do that. You like didn't want to fence someone and they didn't want to fence you. You just move on, no problem.
Yeah, it's crazy. I mean, it's so different. It's like really different now. So you can't do that. But those were the good old days. You could pick and choose like where you felt you could. I mean, if like one fencer wanted to fence, you had to fence. But if you both were like, you didn't have to. So I'm
just saying now, like there were 4 seconds left, and we could just go to the next period, like reasonable people.
Yeah. Now you can't. Now you have to put some shenanigans there.
Yeah, just 4 seconds of nonsense.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. All right, let's play. Wait, so this is the third period now?
Third period.
All right, so I don't know, Lou. What do you think? I feel like 10-4, and then 3 singles for me in like 50 seconds. Now it's 10-7. Like,
yeah,
maybe you're starting to get a little nervous that like the lead is going away, so you'll start.
I mean,
a
like
little bit more. I don't know.
Absolutely, because like, look, if we go back just a little bit, I mean, guys, like, here, wait, go back to just like being on the line. I mean, you can see it in the body language. Like before, it was like going into the second period, it was like very laid back. Now I'm like forward. I'm like, okay, and I start like pushing you forward and trying to like, yeah, I would definitely say I got like a little spooked, especially since it was at the end that you picked up those touches. It's not like it was in the beginning of the period and then I adjusted. It was like, nope, right at the end going into the
just
break.
Like 1, 2, 3 right before the break.
Yeah, that's not, and then like right off the bat. So it's kind of like, and I think, to be honest, I don't remember this at all, but I'm assuming I probably didn't do a good enough job at like mentally resetting for this next period during that break, because you just go, I don't even know how much time was that. That was less than 15 seconds and you scored a touch and I did nothing. Like there was no, what was I going to do except passively maybe counterattack? I don't know.
Yeah, but I don't know what to do. That same touch earlier in the bout, you got it because I didn't hit your foot and I pulled back and you hit me. So this time I feel like I just hit your foot. I don't know. That's like a 50-50 now.
No, I think it's a combination of like probably it's now the distance is closer, you're feeling it, and also definitely came back from that break like like, damn. Like, yeah, it was probably a little mentally jarring, and I didn't reset to be able to like deal with stuff like that right off the bat.
Yeah, and I'm just riding that momentum.
Yeah.
That fake looked a lot more threatening than the stuff from the first two periods.
Yeah, these are a little better for sure.
Yeah, that one too.
That was deep, yeah.
I feel like
But
watching.
Lewis not going back. Lewis like holding his ground there.
Yeah.
Yeah, so
I feel like I have to probably now because you know what to do. So I have to probably adjust something. Probably that was what I felt the adjustment needed to be, right or wrong.
The difference for me here, as someone who's less experienced in epee than both of you guys, was that those deep, threatening attacks to the hand were bothering Lewis more than the first period. So you see here, Jake did a fake to the hand, which Lewis reacts to by going up to 6, and then instead of that, you went down and hunted his foot. Whereas I think the last time you tried to go for his foot, he was a lot more ready for it, but this time he was thinking a lot more about his hand.
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely could be.
I'm gonna show that one.
I also just think like on that point that was a really nice foot touch too. Like, dang, that was a good touch.
Yes, it was very good.
I really just also think that those deep, threatening fakes, they help so much in bouts. I mean, I'm watching like also Popescu. I'm gonna get her name right finally. Popescu. She flicks to the wrist. Like,
wait, pause. Look, right here, you're gonna see it, and you react to it, and then get hit in the foot.
Yeah, and if you watch everything before that, Jake's doing a lot of just like really deep flicks to the wrist and recovering, even staying in that distance where I might even be able to get him on his recovery with an attack, but just to like keep me feeling like threatened, you know what I'm saying? And like you said, yeah, now I'm thinking, okay, I have to protect my wrist, or I have to protect my body from his next attack. And that's when he finally feels he can just go and switch to the foot.
Yeah. No, that's my favorite one so far.
That was a beautiful foot touch.
Thanks, guys.
Those are the foot touches that I'm like, that's a good touch. Like when it's like flick, flick. Oh, I love those. That was a good one. Yeah, I would.
And you try to get that right back.
Yeah, I know. That's so many times though in this bout. It's like you go to the foot and then, or I go to the foot and then one of us goes back at the other one's foot. What happened there?
I don't know. I thought I was going to hit your hand.
Yeah, I thought so too.
Yeah.
Ooh.
I guess we'll see.
I think you hit me under the hand.
I think so too.
Yeah. Okay, I don't know. I thought you scored it for a second.
Yeah, you hit me under the hand. You like took.
I think you literally, your tip just didn't compress.
Yeah, I mean, but that's like a great response to what I'm doing. Like if I'm trying to get you to react by flicking over the top, and I'm hitting your hand now, so you hit me underneath, and you're like, okay, don't do that.
Yeah, I like that. Yeah, and I think that touch will come up again definitely later. The under the wrist touch, and it's kind of like I was saying earlier, like when
that's your touch. Are you good at that?
Yeah, it is. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, so it's like when you have a game based off like kind of one thing, how you like create multiple things around that, it's really important. So for me, like I said, it's like 8 a lot. So going from like 8 to the foot, 8 to under the wrist, 8 to the body, you know what I'm saying? Just like having multiple ways you can score with the same thing. So I do that a lot with 8. Jake's right. So I go like, now it's going to be maybe another 1 or 2 like that. We'll see.
Coming down to the wire here too. Almost 2 minutes left in the third.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
How big a deal is a 3-touch lead with 2 minutes left in the third?
Pretty big deal.
Yeah.
Woo! Yo.
That was nice.
I totally disagree. I don't think that's a lead. I think that's, you have so much time. 2 minutes is a lot of time.
2 minutes is a lot of time, don't get me wrong. But if you tell me I could go up into the third period, 2 minutes left up 3, that's pretty, I don't know. I like that.
Yeah, I mean, if you could have your choice, absolutely. But I still don't think it's like a.
No, it's not like an insurmountable. You just get one lucky touch, one good touch, and then you only have one.
Now, if we were talking like 5+, now we're like kind of, depending on who you're fencing, that's like, okay, you might have something there. But it depends on who you're fencing. If you're fencing someone with a good attack, like Jake has, you can't you can't rest on your laurels at all. Not 6 touches, not 8 touches, because in a very limited amount of time, if you get like too passive, they can bring it back. Now, if you're winning against someone with just defensive style and you're leading like 5-6, you're in a good position most of the time. But a lot of tempers these days have really good, or at least some sort of good offensive thing that they can do. So you really can't most of the time. Most of the time.
Right.
Ooh, I'm starting those flicks back to your wrist though, like beat flick, 8 flick.
Ah, gotcha.
Ah, dang it. Can someone tell me
Dude,
like
it's coming out now. I think I'm just
yeah, can we
like
not
in the pressure cooker and you're just like jumping out.
It's like, can somebody be like, literally, I think the best advice. Okay, the other problem that you don't see in this bout, but I remember very vividly, was the fact that I had both of my Ohio State coaches in the box. So my Epee one, who's very good, and coach, who I love, he's like a father, extremely, extremely smart, but doesn't really get like Epe's strategy and tactics in the middle of a bout like this. So Sasha was being really quiet. So I think he might have been able to tell me something like, okay, don't react every time, or open the distance, or anything, like something, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But I didn't think I got anything. I think I definitely was on my own, which is fine. You should be able to fence on your own. But right now, I'm not in tune. So that's when you kind of would be nice to have someone be like, hey, by the way, don't jump every time you like flicks at your wrist. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. So one of the things that I noticed here is that those non-threatening double flick preparations we were talking about earlier, you go for one of those, and Lewis lunges between two of them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
My
Yeah.
tip's just already there. Like, that's what I'm saying. I feel like, I don't know.
Oh, dang. Oh my gosh. I don't know how you did that, but you slowed it down perfectly. Like, that's like a lesson. It's like, yeah, you go there. That's the one. That's beautiful. Wow.
Yeah.
Well, you're coming out now I don't know why you're coming out. I'm not even I don't think I'm changing anything, bro. I think you just started like.
I don't know. I mean, it's for me, like watching now, it's like simple. Like, I don't think there's a thought. Like, I'm like watching and I'm like, now I probably be like, yo, you have to change. I don't think there's a change. Because the other thing is, like, a lot of times.
So what? You were up 6, then you're up 3.
Now
I don't think that's a reason to panic. I think you just keep doing what you're doing. It was working. Like.
Yeah, no, I agree with you. But now it's like, well, now the panic can really definitely start to set in. I don't think I panic. Towards the end, it gets a lot more even. So this is like this part, it was definitely much more panic. At the end, we kind of even out to like a pretty strong bout. But what I wanted to say was absolutely shouldn't panic. I agree with Jake. Like, when you're leading 6-3, that's not a huge difference in the score that they caught up 3. Like, you can adjust. But right now, I'm really liking what you're doing. I don't see an idea for me. I'm looking and I'm like, I know what you're going to do. You're going to go like to the wrist and then continue somehow. And then I'm watching me and I'm like, am I going to counterattack to your wrist? Like, that's not going to work. Am I going to attack you on prep? It's not working.
What you were doing that was working the best is that, like, feign disengage attack.
Yeah, I would try that again. I would throw that in.
Wait for me to jump out too early. Let's play it.
Exactly. Yeah, that would be great. I think that would be a great thing to add right there. Especially now, just because it's like, okay, what you're doing before isn't working. Like, let's mix it up.
Same stuff, like just flicking your hand, going your foot, looking for parry. All right.
You're really playing the lines well between like the wrist and the foot. I mean, you're showing like
I'm
stuff
hyped
like,
up now. I feel like.
Wait, I didn't
get in the water and
go back to that touch. Was it a parry?
Also, Jake, who do you keep interacting with in the crowd? Is it Brian?
Yeah, my coach Aladar Kogler wasn't traveling to college meets. He's Olympics focused only. So He didn't go to the meets, but I wasn't allowed to have Brian Rowe was my like Epee teammate. We had fenced in the semifinal at NCAA's the year before. He wasn't allowed to be in the coaching box because he's not like a designated NCAA coach or whatever. Even though he's on the Columbia fencing team, they like wouldn't let him in. So he was just sitting like right next to the little like media box down there.
Gotcha.
Yeah. That's so interesting. Actually, you see, wait, go back like 2 because the one that I scored, I actually like a lot. This is one of my favorite touches. I don't do it a lot in this bout, but it's like it's like pulling back, like skipping the tempo and then counterattacking. It's so interesting to hear Jake's perspective, like what he was. Yeah, you see like Jake comes is like pulling back, touch the top. That's one of my favorite things to do. I love that counterattack. But like it's so interesting. So you were listening
like this. I'm like, I think that I just didn't hit, like I missed. So you just tricked me, honestly,
Probably. I'm not sure if it was a miss or it was a trick, but I feel like the beginning preparation of that was much more active. So I think maybe it was on my initiative. But
now
that's so interesting that Brian was that you were talking to Brian. I would have had no idea. Yeah, I was like, who would coach you there?
Yeah, I was talking to Brian Rowe.
That's so interesting.
We would coach each other at all these things.
Yeah, y'all would. Y'all were very close. Oh my God, I actually have a funny story, but we can save it to the end. With you and Brian.
Okay.
You know what, Jake? I gotta be honest. I feel like if I could go back, I'd be like, fake, pull your arm back and then hit you. That's been working. That actually is the success rate of that touch has worked so well this bout.
I know.
But I never would have thought it. That's not usually my MO in attack, so I never would have thought to do that. But
you're coming forward now too.
Yeah, I don't know if that's the best.
You're like pumping hard. Yeah.
Yeah, but I don't know if that's the best solution because it's like such a drastic thing.
You're still up. No reason.
Well, not now. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, that's why I'm like. But now I'm down. I'm like, I could have done the same.
I think I just see you getting like a little antsy, and I'm like, all right, he's gonna just come out probably like a little too soon. Yeah, and you just got like a step too close, and I hit you with one of the fakes.
You don't know what I was thinking at this point?
Yeah.
Wait, I have a thought, but you can.
I was thinking I probably should have sat somewhere else.
Yeah, these guys got me. They're like jumping up and down.
Jake, my grandma was jumping twice more. But, like, but wait,
one dude throwing his hands up right into your camera. I think that's
Mache.
Pause it real quick because I have something. So you know what? Now that I'm thinking about it, I don't know if it might have been being antsy, but also I think I realized I did find something because when I watched that touch, the idea was to go like to your wrist, pull back and do either defense or attack, but like pulling my arm back. So I was like, oh, okay, you found something. Let's set it up again. But it was like way too like in your face too soon. You know what I mean? I could have done the same thing a little bit more.
Yeah, just take your time.
Yeah, take the time. Yeah, exactly.
All right.
Okay, let's see.
Roll that.
But at this point, I think it gets pretty. Now it's kind of like an even level of grit. I think I'm a little bit more comfortable.
I mean, now 13-13, minute left, like to go to the final. I think this is just.
It's just
you gotta fight it out.
Yeah, exactly, 100%. Just gets a little gritty.
Oh my God!
Oh, good touch.
Yo, oh my God. That was a mess.
Yeah, that was a mess.
Okay, wait. You know,
that's so funny. We both just missed, and we were like, "What do we do?"
Yeah,
we were both trying to. Oh my God!
Look at this. I flicked, missed. You missed.
Oh my God! That might have been the touch, TBH, but like legit.
That was just like a throw.
Crazy though, like how I was telling y'all, like I remember being on the strip when I like beat you in 2015 in the pool round. I never thought about that last touch before, but I feel like I went back to that moment. Like I'm standing on the strip and you got me in that way. And I feel shocked a little bit, like, huh? You know, like what I'm saying? Like, you just have that like, huh? Feeling? Not like demoralized, but just like, wait, what? Dang, I forgot about that one.
Yeah, that was like.
That was a good, from you though, I love going behind the head. That's the best. way to get like a remise. I love going behind the head. It's a good one. I like that touch.
All right, 14-13.
Okay, this is very interesting. What happens
48
next?
seconds.
I actually remember this really clearly.
I think now I'm waiting for you, bro.
What happens next?
I'm just waiting for you.
I mean, yeah, like you're leading. I haven't had an offensive thing that's worked in this bout. I would wait too, but your blade did not work.
Oh, yeah.
Yep.
But
I thought that was a wrap.
I thought you know what? No. And when, like, okay,
You see
now
how excited I was? I ripped my mask off. Like,
I know, yeah, but like,
I did it.
like remembering being in that bout, I'm gonna tell you straight up, I was so in the middle of that fight, I didn't even think for a second that it was something to do with your blade. Even when she tested your blade and it didn't work, I think I completely ignored it. I was just like, that was your
Yeah.
stuff.
I mean, so much adrenaline going too. Like,
yeah.
it was like this. I mean, yeah.
No, the adrenaline was
You're in
insane.
college. This is like a big deal for you. So,
yo, you can't get water right now. What is this? Right? Yo, water, like chill out.
On my way back.
I want to see a card come out.
Jake.
No, I was literally like, that was your touch, next touch. But obviously, like watching it, hindsight, clearly it's like, okay, weapon didn't work because you straight up hit me in the chest.
So what is the mentality like when that happens and your weapon is not working? Like, because you just said you thought that you just won the bout. So do you treat that just like an idea that, because like that just doesn't happen in Saber very often? Like, do you treat that as like, I got the touch and like that will work and just kind of build off that for the next one? Or
yeah, exactly. Like, now I just know, go back. I'll tell you. If you go back and you see, can you watch it in slow motion or no?
I think this website has a little bit of a trouble with that, but we'll try it.
Like, basically, I just know now that I can hit Lewis, or I could hit Lewis in this bout by doing something. Even though my blade didn't go off, like, still get some good info. And it's basically he's coming forward, right? And I'm going to attack him prep with one fake.
That was a really good touch, actually.
To the body.
I mean,
because it looks like he's coming forward, and Lewis likes to push, and like he loves to react 8. So you give him one fake, he goes to take 8, then you go straight. So even though I didn't get the touch, I think I can like use that now. Plus, I think I'm honestly just like hyped that I came back from being down like 5 points, 6 points.
Yeah.
You know,
so, and like Lewis said, you're not thinking about it. Like this is a high pressure bout, so I think you just kind of.
It's all fight. It's not.
Yeah.
You're not thinking like.
You just want to win.
If you're at this point thinking negatively to yourself, then you're kind of screwed. So.
Also, yeah, I think that's a good distinction to make. It's what you make of the situation, because you looked really happy when she tested and you found that it didn't work. So it's not like something has been stolen from you. You just kind of feel like you have another chance.
Actually, that's a great way to think about it. Because like, okay, not from this bout, but there was another bout I had with a fencer at a World Cup one time. And this dude, I'm not going to name the fencer or anything. I'm not going to shade him. But like but the dude pulled his, it was a priority bout. The dude pulled his 2 wires after I had scored and literally pulled the wires out of his socket. Went to test to the referee. And of course it didn't work. And even his teammates were like, and his coach were like, they couldn't watch because they were so disappointed with what he did. And they were like, black card. The crowd was like, black card. And then, but instead of getting upset about it, I literally was like, I'm going to score this touch again. I'm going to do it 2 times. And then I scored 2 times and I was like, 2 times, you know? So it's literally,
I know what you're talking about.
It's literally just what you make of it. Like Jake's right to, when his weapon didn't work, to be like, yeah, because like it was his touch. So he should be like celebrating and then get ready because he has to do it again, basically.
Yeah. I think it's an easy impulse to say like, oh, I got screwed by my weapon, I should have won the bout. But like instead just like process, just like treat it as like, yeah, what I did worked. I didn't get the touch, but whatever, I get to try again. So
yeah, you're just like
100% right. 100%.
It's 14-13 now for me, right? We're both just thinking like you need the next touch. Like it doesn't matter what happens. Like there's nothing you can do about it. You just need to score one touch, get off the strip.
The next touch is critical, and I would just like to mention, usually when I'm in a situation like 14-13 or 4-3, I usually am pretty bad at winning the bout from there. I usually get hit on like a double or something. Not this time, but it's like it's kind of a bear. It's in itself a little psychological block for me. So it's actually interesting what happens next. Okay, we can play. Yeah, but we're both. Yeah, you look very pumped. You're like, I'm gonna score this touch.
I'm feeling good.
But then I go underneath the wrist. Now,
here we go.
Now it's the game.
It's a good touch. I mean, you got me going back, arms up.
Yeah, but that's what I was saying. It does come up. Oh, you see, I even get a little playful. I like change.
What was that? Damn.
Yeah, like wait, go back. I like that. I like when I get playful.
Yeah, Lewis like foot checks me. He's like,
foot check.
You got that?
What? Oh my god, I didn't even realize that. That's so interesting. Okay.
And I'm just like, whatever. Like, let's go. 14-14.
That's why I love fencing so much, because like in real life, like IRL, you're not foot checking people, you're not doing that to people. But in fencing, like you can have your beast come out. You can be like the beast. So you can be like, oh, and be like the type of kind of fighter that you wouldn't probably get into like a bar fight with someone, but like you'll fight someone on a strip. So that's what I like about fencing. Like you can like psychologically like take it to that level of combat. So it's fun. So when you do a foot check like that, it's just like, it's like, okay, this might be 14-13 for the NCAA final, but I'm gonna fuck with you anyway.
I've heard gamers say that they almost feel like they get to reinvent themselves when they're playing a game. Like maybe you don't like the way that you behave or like your personality in real life, but in the game you can be you can have a totally different attitude than you.
Oh yeah,
that feels like what you're saying right now.
Fencing. That can be so fencing. I mean, generally, I think it's important to be yourself, but you can be a little extra in fencing. It's fun.
All right, 14-14.
I mean, yeah, and whatever happens at this point, Lewis, I feel like we both fenced a very good bout.
Oh, big time. It was a good bout. And that was a good touch.
Last touch is good. Like, I'm obviously, glad I won, but I think we both fenced super clean, got a lot of good touches that we wanted, like got hit on some stuff that we didn't want, obviously, but that's a good bout.
So that's like where I wanted to say, to summarize the bout in general, not the last touch, because I was going to say about the last touch, but the bout in general, I told y'all I used to hate this bout because I was thinking about it probably more from like a results perspective, but now like 4 years later, hopefully over time you don't have to think about stuff like that in that way for that long. Because now I really like this bout because you watch this bout and you see so many good ideas, moves, even some strategies, so it's like, it's actually a great bout. I mean, both fence really well. At some points in the bout, I was fencing better. At some points, Jake was fencing better. But overall, the bout was just solid. So I really like it. Yeah. I couldn't. You know what I really want to find too? I want to find the one from the NCAAs before this where I fenced Jack, because there I felt like I fenced solid too. But for some reason, that doesn't exist. I can't find it. I've been trying, but they don't. I know someone recorded it, but
I have all those videos. I'll send them to you.
Are you for real?
Yeah, I downloaded them.
Cut this out, but like please send them
to
me.
To me too, please.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah.
That would be incredible, because like sometimes I feel like there are parts or times when I was fencing that I want to not regress to, but I want to go back and come to those ideas. But I don't have any video to see, because I have a picture in your head might be completely different than what actually was going on.
Yeah.
Really see that. That'd be awesome. Okay, thank you.
NCAAs are the one tournament that I have like no real reason to go to that I feel really compelled to go to, because there's no
go to this year.
Yeah, there's no like USFA video. It's just for ESPN. So if someone like me doesn't record the bouts, they're not going to be accessible afterwards unless someone like you screen records them or did whatever you did to get them.
Yeah, I mean, at least ESPN should post them on their website or something, but they don't. But
Yeah.
regardless, the last touch, I used to not like this last touch, but then like I thought I bit into Jake's thing, and I did. I did bite his flick to the wrist, and that's what got me hit in the end. But the good news from my side was I felt like my idea was to finish through the blade because it had just worked to his wrist. So I was like, okay, I'm gonna do it again. So that's always kind of a good step to take, is take in a priority or single touch situation like that, take something that worked previously, and that's what you're going to use because that's what you had the success rate in. Now,
That's what I was doing. I was doing the same thing that I had done when my blade was broken. Same touch.
exactly. Same
So we're
exact.
both like, just pick. It's 14-14. You just got to pick something you think is going to work and then do it. See what
But
happens.
that's the sign. That's the sign from both sides of just like a very strong fencer, is that you understand that strategy. Like, even though I lost the bout, it wasn't the wrong idea. It was the wrong moment. It was the wrong, maybe even a little bit setup, but it wasn't the wrong action to go with. What would have been the wrong action to go with would be like all of a sudden, well, actually there's no really wrong, but like all of a sudden you do like something, for example, what didn't work in the bout previously. Now, you know what, watching this, maybe I would have tried the pullback thing again. Maybe. But I just worked the 8. So
I
I'm
would
like,
have done that if I were you.
I think so too. I think that would have been much more surprising. And like going back in the history of how many times we fenced, that does seem to work. So I, in hindsight, would have done that. But I mean, that's all hindsight. Like,
So
in this.
So I have a quick question. Everyone has a different way that they choose their 14-14 touch. And I was talking to Ivan Lee about this, and he told me that he always picks like what he was going to do if the 14-14 touch was going to happen before the bout even starts, which seems crazy to me. But
Wait, repeat that. He does what? What does Ivan Lee do?
he picks the action he's going to use at 14-14 before the bout even starts.
That's so crazy, but very really.
I can't relate to that.
That's what he said when we were talking. I'll put that video. I think
you guys are playing checkers. We're playing chess.
yeah.
So do you choose,
God.
so wait, do you choose an action based on something that's been working really well, or do you just assume that at 14-14, like you should just go with something that's really strong for you? Like how do you decide what you want to do?
That's a great question. I want to answer it. Jake, do you want to answer it?
Yeah.
Okay.
Like, I don't know. Everyone has a different way they think about it, for sure. For me, I think it's hard to describe too. I feel like you understand fencing the best only while you're on the strip fencing, right?
Yeah. A lot of it is feeling based too. So.
Like, we do this analysis and stuff, and it's great, and I think a lot of good points have been made, but I feel like I only understand it the most when I'm there in the moment, like the strip.
Yeah.
But
100%.
how I probably would describe it is just, I think fencing in general for me is your problem solving. Like, you have a problem, and then you have a kit of tools, and you need to select the right thing to solve the problem. So I don't think I could give you a specific thing that I do at 14-14, right? Because it's always going to be different. It depends on who you're fencing, right? Like at 14-14, do I want to Go ahead.
I was going to say, it sounds then like it's just a logical progression for you of what's been going on.
Sure. Like it's probably going to be something that I know has worked in the bout, but it can't be something that has worked that you're not good at. It needs to be something you're good at too, you know? So you have to like add it all up. Like, okay, I think this is going to work, but I'm actually not that comfortable doing that action. So I don't necessarily do that. I'd actually rather try to use one touch.
Yeah,
I'd
if
rather
you miss, it's over. So
it isn't going to work, but I feel more comfortable doing because I'm better at that action, right?
Yeah, totally.
Like, so it depends. Like Curtis McDowell comes to mind, right? It's like at 14-14, he's probably going to flesh into your chest. And I don't know what he's thinking. If he thinks it's the best idea, if he doesn't think it's the best idea, doesn't matter. That's what he's best at doing. He's going to do it to you, and you probably won't be able to stop it. You know what I mean? So everyone has like something different. I don't have a fastball superpower move like that. So like I wouldn't, that's not how I would make a decision.
Oh, I disagree. I think you do. I think you don't know it, but you do. that flick thing, at least in this bout, but I think it still holds true. But I know what you're saying about Curtis. Curtis is going to flash a 14-14 every time. If Curtis watches this video all the way to the end, maybe he'd reconsider it sometimes, but
No, that works.
But
It's working for him, yeah. Why would he
No,
reconsider?
because then you use that as a fake. Sometimes, like, there's nothing you can do. You're not stopping.
Exactly, yeah. Yeah, I agree. No, I'm just joking.
World
Like,
class.
he's good at it. It's world class for sure. Stay with it. But yeah, I mean, on my side, I literally couldn't agree with Jake more. I mean, I look at it like, from my perspective, I don't think I handle priority the best. I would rather not, just because I'm a very nervous fencer. I think I get too nervous, so it's kind of hard for me to. I don't have the highest priority rate success, but when I do choose a priority touch that works, it's coming from feeling. So I'm feeling like what worked in this bout, and if I trust my like feeling and instinct, I score a lot more. 2, I choose something that worked in the bout, but that's also effective. Like Jake said, you don't pick something that you can't do, because you're going to need full commitment and power and speed and everything for this touch. You don't want to pick something that you're not 100%, 110% with. I'm going to give a good example. Like, when I don't know how many people watch this bout, but she's like the queen of priority for me. Shemiakina from Ukraine. She won the Olympics pretty much all on priority. And what she just did her same like ducking lunge action like every time. This was her priority touch. I mean, this was like the touch. We go to priority, like she picks her strongest thing and does it just 100. So that's all like kind of similar to how Curtis does it. So that's definitely one way. Something very interesting that I really would want to start trying once we get back out there and can fence again post-quarantine is something that I've been a lot of people doing, and that's just literally ready fence, prepare a little bit, jump flesh. Like legit, that has won, I think, more priority bout situations recently that I've seen a lot of things win priority situations in the past. So it's just something to think about. It's an idea, but generally I choose it with my feeling, and pretty much similar to how Jake does it, like almost identical.
The only thing I would say that I specifically do is just before they say fence, I know what I'm going to do.
Yeah, exactly.
Like you need to have an idea. You can't, I never would decide like, okay, I'm just going to feel it out. Absolutely not. Like at 14-14, you need to know what you're doing so that you can have like a full commitment to it. Otherwise, like you're just going to.
Yeah, to clarify, when I say feeling, I don't mean in the middle of just for the people at home, I don't mean in the middle of the bout. I mean, I feel like what worked in the bout, because you don't have the chart. I picked the move ahead of time, obviously. I pretty much always do, but like you don't have like a chart that showed you the statistical numbers of what worked and what didn't in this bout so far. You have to feel out what worked in the bout so far. So when I say like feelings, I mean like you have to feel what worked, because you literally just don't have a chart that would tell you that. That's sometimes why coaches are there. I mean, they're very helpful with like basically like counting cards. They count numbers of what worked and what didn't. They could probably give you some advice if you didn't really know what to do in that moment. But just kind of you have to feel that. You have to feel your plan out, but then have a plan. You have to be like, I know what I'm doing this touch. I think that's very important for priority.
Gotcha. Okay, guys. Thank you so much for watching this bout with me.
Yeah, it was fun.
It was really interesting to get both of your different perspectives on what was happening while you were fencing. So
I was like, this is so interesting. I feel like I learned a lot. And I've watched this bout a good number of times and didn't see some of the things that I saw, especially from Jake's perspective. So that was really cool.
Exactly.
Awesome. Yeah, likewise. I mean, that was a well-fenced bout.
Yeah, really
well.
I'm glad that I recorded it.
Yeah,
that's your bit.
Yeah, this is like but like check out all of Cyrus of Chaos's other videos, including the 2016 highlight reel. That is one of my favorite YouTube videos ever. And I
like and subscribe below.
Like, subscribe below.
Hit the bell button if you want to be notified.
Hit that bell.
Ring that bell.
All right. Thanks,
Sorry,
again, guys.
Okay, guys. Thank you.
Yeah,
Adios.
thanks. Peace.